coming up in this incredible Part 3 episode with Gary Vaynerchuk.
I think it's the single biggest opportunity for everyone who's listening right now. Anything that requires outside validation is the gateway drug to burnout.
My guest is known by millions as someone who predicts what's next and can tell us exactly what he thinks we should do to put our lives and our future in perspective today. Gary Vaynerchuk, known as GaryVee, is someone who's not only built billion-dollar businesses, he's shaped the way so many understand branding, marketing, entrepreneurship, and getting attention online in big ways. AI, social media, are any of us gonna have a job in a few years?
People are gonna find other jobs because new jobs will be invented. Let me give you a big one. This is going to create so many jobs people don't know exist yet, but there will be a recalibration.
That can't just be done by robots?
Correct. As AI creates more stuff, more people will do real life stuff. I'll give you a weird business. I think someone listening right now can start a business to be a human that walks with you on a walk in your neighborhood. You can literally start a business right now that says, I will walk with you when you walk and talk and hang in the neighborhood for $50 for that hour. Did that job exist 20 years ago? You would have been laughed out of the room. I'm telling you, the rise of technology will create the counter rise of humanity, and people don't see it yet. If you're ambitious and excited and hungry and hardworking and accountable, you will not lose. This is here, and you have the ability to pull up your pants and do something about it. We just live in the era of people crying about things instead of doing things. When you over-coddle your children, you just raise loser kids. When you over-coddle your employees, your company goes out of business. And then everyone's fired.
So many people are scared. Does higher education and college matter anymore? Do you think with AI that colleges will go extinct? How do you use AI in your life, like exactly every day?
What Google did to the yellow pages, AI is about to do to Google. I'm using AI to stay on top of AI.
Do you have any worries about privacy?
Yes and no. Do you know that almost everyone's privacy has been... It is insane how much privacy has been compromised already. The world is good, James. James, the world's good. But most of the world is fixated on the 0.0000001% that's bad. We get accustomed, we adapt, we become educated, we adjust. We are capable. We are strong.
You know how many people are going to be tremendously grateful for your optimism?
My optimism is well justified.
What about when there's governments out there, though, that don't play by the rules or that don't keep their word? Do you ever worry about or think it's possible AI will retaliate against you if you uninstall it?
I think it's...
For the person listening who is feeling like a rookie with AI, what would you say is like the blueprint for the fastest way for a beginner to get great at AI? Gary is a serial entrepreneur and serves as the chairman of Vaynerchuk, the CEO of VaynerMedia, and the CEO and creator of the entertainment and collectibles company, VeeFriends. Gary is considered one of the leading global minds on what's next in culture, business, and the internet. He was an early investor in companies like Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Venmo, Snapchat, Coinbase, and Uber. He's a 6-time New York Times best-selling author and documents his daily life as a CEO through his social media channels, which have more than 45 million followers. His podcast, The GaryVee Audio Experience, ranks amongst the top podcasts globally. He's a newlywed to his wife, Mona, a dad of 2, and he's the person millions of people look to daily. And he's taken time out of his busy schedule. He's flown here. He's in person on the podcast just for you today. From advice on mindset, and how to succeed on social media with AI, in entrepreneurship, and how to know exactly what's coming next and what to do about it in a world of technology and AI that's changing by the second. I am so excited for this conversation. And whether today you're listening for yourself or because someone that you love shared this episode with you, I want to welcome you to the Jamie Kern Lima Show podcast family. Thank you so much for being here. And can you take 2 seconds right now and just hit the subscribe or follow button on the app that you're listening or watching on? Thank you so much. It truly means so much to me. You can also get your inspiration into your inbox from me for free. You can join my newsletter community at jamiekernlima.com. Also, this incredible podcast episode today, it's not just for you and me. Please share this with every single person you know who might need some inspiration today or perhaps a boost in their self-belief. Because what you can hear today can truly impact mine, yours, and their lives too.
Welcome to the Jamie Kern Lima Show.
Oprah, how have you defied the odds?
Her show is unlike any I've ever done.
A revelation. When you listen, it feels like a hug, but your brain and your spirit and your heart is like, wow.
Melinda French Gates.
When I look into Jamie's eyes, I feel like I am on some other cosmic level with her.
I could see the light around her. She's infused with light.
Imagine overcoming self-doubt, learning to believe in yourself and trust yourself and know you are enough. Welcome to the Jamie Kern Lima Show.
Jamie Kern Lima is her name.
Everybody needs Jamie Kern Lima in their life.
Jamie Kern Lima. Jamie, you're so inspiring.
Jamie Kern Lima.
AI, social media, are any of us going to have a job in a few years?
When the tractor came out, everybody worked on a farm. And everybody said everybody was in big trouble. That's the answer to the whole thing. It's unbelievable how easy that question is for me and how quickly I can answer it. It's going to be faster than tractor. There will be moments in the next decade of like the job thing being a little bit uncomfortable, but I anticipate governments and society to pick up the slack. I actually believe that. And so the answer to the question is every single form of technology ravaged big ones: the car, the train, the airplane, the tractor, the typewriter, electricity. Every massive form of new technology has created significant shifts. This could be the biggest one. It could be. It's that big. I don't want to understate how big AI is. Jane, people are going to find other jobs because new jobs will be invented. Let me give you a big one. Electricians are about to go crazy. The amount of electricity AI takes and the amount of need of human electricians, electrical engineers. Let's talk about what Justin's doing right now. How about when I, 15 years ago, decided to have D-Rock follow me around with a camera? And then all of a sudden, miraculously, tens of thousands of human beings' jobs on Earth was following another human being around with a camera. Mm-hmm. That wasn't a job before YouTube, right? This is going to create so many jobs people don't know exist yet, but there will be a recalibration.
And you're saying it's going to create so many jobs that don't exist yet that can't just be done by robots?
Correct. That's right. That's exactly what I'm saying. Let me give you an example.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're noticing this, but like humans are starting to do more real life stuff. Experiential events are up. You know why? We're over digitalizing, so we want to go to concerts, we want to go to sporting events, we want to go to like random in-person attendance to Comic-Con, like all these things exploding. As AI creates more stuff, more people will do real life stuff. I'll give you a weird business. I think someone listening right now can start a business to be a human that walks with you on a walk in your neighborhood.
I think you're right.
Okay, let's stick on this one. Notice how you responded. I'm going to say it again. This is a weird one. Let's say you're like me, very extroverted, in love with people, not scared. You can literally start a business right now that says, I will walk with you when you walk and talk and hang in the neighborhood for $50 for that hour. Did that job exist 20 years ago? You would have been laughed out of the room. And notice how fast you were like, I believe, right? I'm telling you, the rise of technology will create the counter rise of humanity, and people don't see it yet because we're still on the up of we haven't hit the tipping point. But it's so interesting how you just said, I think you're right, so authentically and so fast. Do you understand how silly that job would have been if you and I thought about that 20 years ago? Would have been like, what are you talking about? That's crazy, Gary.
When you see like all the headlines recently with so many different people, Bill Gates saying most of what humans do in a job will no longer be needed.
I'm like, cool, maybe we can just all like vacation 24/7. Like, I'm just not scared. I'm like, okay, but we're all in it together. If Bill Gates is right, then we're all in it together. So then what happens? I don't know. Like, by the way, I'm an entrepreneur who loves to work.
Yeah.
And I'm still going to take the optimistic view on that maybe we get to an end state where we all leisure in perpetuity.
Who pays for that? Who pays for everyone to live if
Listen,
80% can't work?
The people that have the 20% that do work. Maybe. What do you think taxes was? I don't know. I work my face off and I'm paying for a lot of people. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Listen, again, before anybody gets triggered here, I am a real democracy capitalist guy. I was born in communism, socialism.
Yes.
So I'm not saying like, I'm really not going there. I'm just saying I don't know. And I think anything can be true. We used to have monarchies. Genghis Khan used to run the world. We used to be cavemen. I don't know if you know this, but dinosaurs literally took a poop right here at some point in the world. Right now, right in this living room, there was a dinosaur that took a poop on here. It was a long time ago, but it's true. And so like, I don't know. Maybe everyone's robots will do it.
Right.
Maybe we all have a robot that does all the work.
Yeah.
You make the same amount you make now based on how good you program your robot. And you, the human, surf all day. I don't know. Like, sounds okay to me. Like, that sounds weirdly fun. Like, I'm interested in that, maybe. I like basketball. I'll play basketball all day. I don't know. Like, here's what I would say. If you're ambitious and excited and hungry and hardworking and accountable, you will not lose. But if you're me, from 1982 to 1998, you'll lose. From 1982 to 1988, in school, I was lazy, disinterested, not accountable, looking for the angle, and I got D's and F's in that game. If that's how you play life, you will lose. I'll give you another example. If you were a designer, right now you are a designer, and you work in Adobe, right? Photoshop. And you do not have any creative ideas. All you do is take someone's idea and you make it. You do not have any creativity. And you don't realize you're in deep shit and you should go get a different job right now and try to learn a new skill. Whose fault is that? Is that technology's fault? Is that Donald Trump or Biden's fault? Is that your mommy's fault? Or is that your fault? I don't know. By the way, even though it seems like I'm saying it's your fault in this question, I'm just saying I don't know, but I kind of think it's your fault. Because you know this is here, and you have the ability to pull up your pants and do something about it. We just live in the era of people crying about things instead of doing things. We really struggle with accountability. You know, I tell friends all the time when they get overly emotional politically, both left and right. I've had every friend I know leave America over the last 16 years of presidential elections on both sides. And I always tell them, like, leave. And I'm not saying it like, you know, when people are like, you don't like America, leave. I'm saying it nicely. I'm saying, hey, if you don't like it, good news. You can live in Portugal. You can live in the UAE, in Dubai. Like, you can. You could. But everyone's so coddled and good in a first world country like America. Right. They're full of crap.
So many people are scared.
Yes.
Just scared.
Yep.
They're scared about what's going to happen.
Yes.
Does does higher education and college matter anymore?
Not for a lot of things, and it never did. It never mattered for entrepreneurship and artists. That was my point 20 years ago when I got booed for saying it. And more importantly, it's starting to matter less for jobs. Vayner doesn't even require a high school diploma, let alone a college diploma. Do you know that I have no idea what college any of my employees went to? To be a creative marketer in 2025, you do not need to go to college. Now, does it matter? If someone's listening right now and wants to be a doctor, I think right now it still does. I think it's hard to become one of the great surgeons in the world. I don't think those hospitals take you unless you've done the right? Like there are jobs. But if you are a creative person or an entrepreneur and you are going to collect debt by going to college for 4 years, you are out of your goddamn mind. And if you're going to collect that debt because your parents are forcing you to, because they're embarrassed if you didn't go, and yet they're not paying and making you take on that debt, you're double out of your mind. And parents should be ashamed of themselves if they are forcing their child to go to college and take on debt they're taking on because of the parents' insecurity of the judgment if their child doesn't go to college. Now, that's different than if a parent has an ideology about college and is fully paying for their child. Well, then I say, wonderful. Then I say, good on you, parent. And I say, hey, kid, go take the 4-year vacation. That's what I did. I didn't want to go. But my mom still, even though she did a lot of things right, she will say to you that, like, she's not sure she did that right. She was, even though she didn't really care what anyone thought about anything, for some reason college got her. Mm-hmm. And I get it. That was the era where it was nobody didn't go to college in my era. You even went to a community college if you were the worst of the worst. There was nobody that didn't go. And, I took a 4-year vacation. I played Madden on Sega Genesis. I learned how to play spades and CeeLo. I played a lot of basketball. I just ran out those 4 years at Mount Ida College and got to working.
Do you think with AI that colleges will go extinct?
I think the Harvards and the Yales and the Stanfords have such a big brand that I think a lot of them will be able to hold on. I think there are institutions, I think sports is keeping them relevant, the Michigans and the University of Florida. So I don't think extinct, but boy, oh boy, is education getting pressured by modern technology. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's so funny. The institutions that are most pushing against AI in the world is the education system. I wonder why. In the world.
How do you use AI in your life, like exactly every day?
I've completely replaced my Google searches with AI. That's first. I use it as my thinking partner. When I'm researching or trying to think through an opportunity, I use AI. So I use it as a strategist. So when I know that Labubu is going to help me educate everyone about why collectibles as a genre, similar to fashion, music, and sports, is now a driver of culture and business and marketing, I need examples to get my clients to see that and to get my friends to see it. So when I use Labubu, because I know that will, for example, collectibles, a lot of my guy friends, because of baseball cards and sneakers and watches and art, get there. A lot of my girlfriends get there less. Using Labubu to educate some of my CMO female friends or male friends, a lot of people don't collect, anyone who doesn't collect, and explain to them how it happened, what it meant economically, why some people go to Starbucks just to get the mug. Got it? I believe that collectibles is about to become as important in our society as fashion, music, sports, food, art. When you go out to dinner in 7 years, just like what are you watching on Netflix, or did you hear about this artist, or what's happening in popular culture, all 4 people at the table will talk about what they're collecting and why. That we're really on the precipice. Where sports was in the 50s, I think collecting is here right now. So as I'm thinking through this, I used to have to really work to put my information in order, to think, a lot of Google search, a lot of my own thinking with my own self-intuition. Now I can prompt engineer audio, just like that elderly man. All my prompts are audio when it matters. Quickly, I can do written, almost. Do you know I was saying this at breakfast yesterday. Most of my prompts are between 3 and 7 minutes long in audio.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I thought that might catch you. I don't think people are there yet. I think like mine are very long. Like, hey, Pop Mart did this with Labubu. This is how it worked. Yep. Audio, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, chat.
We need to pause for a super brief break. And while we do, take a moment and share this episode with every single person that you know who this could inspire. Because this conversation can truly be the words and inspiration that they need to hear today to keep going, to remember that they matter, and to feel less alone and more enough, more connected, and more worthy. In life, you don't soar to the level of your hopes and dreams. You stay stuck at the level of your self-worth. When you build your self-worth, you change your entire life. And that's exactly why I wrote my new book, Worthy: How to Believe You Are Enough and Transform Your Life for You. If you have some self-doubt to destroy and a destiny to fulfill, Worthy is for you. In Worthy, you'll learn proven tools and simple steps that bring life-changing results, like how to get unstuck from the things holding you back, build unshakable self-love, unlearn the lies that lead to self-doubt, and embrace the truths that wake up worthiness, overcome limiting beliefs and imposter syndrome, achieve your hopes and dreams by believing you are worthy of them, and so much more. Are you ready to unleash your greatness and step into the person you were born to be? Imagine a life with zero self-doubt and unshakable self-worth. Get your copy of Worthy, plus some amazing thank you bonus gifts for you at worthybook.com or the link in the show notes below. Imagine what you'd do if you fully believed in you. It's time to find out with Worthy. Who you spend time around is so important, as energy is contagious, and so is self-belief. And I'd love to hang out with you even more, especially if you could use an extra dose of inspiration, which is exactly why I've created my free weekly newsletter that's also a love letter to you, delivered straight to your inbox each and every Tuesday morning from me. If you haven't signed up to make sure that you get it each week, just go to JamieKernLima.com to make sure you're on the list, and you'll get your One-on-One with Jamie weekly newsletter and get ready to believe in you. If you're tired of hearing the bad news every single day and need some inspiration, some tips, tools, joy, and love hitting your inbox, I'm your girl. Subscribe at JamieKernLima.com or in the link in the show notes. Do you struggle with negative self-talk? Living with a constant mental narrative that you're not good enough is exhausting. I know, because I spent most of my life in that habit. The words you say to yourself about yourself are so powerful. And when you learn to take control over your self-talk, it's life-changing. And I wanted to give you a free resource that I created for you if this is something that could benefit your life. It's called 5 Ways to Overcome Negative Self-Talk and Build Self-Love. And it's a free how-to guide to overcome that negative self-talk, to build confidence and develop unshakable self-love so that you can dream big and keep going in the pursuit of your goals. Don't let self-sabotaging thoughts hinder your progress any longer. It's time to rewrite the script of your life, one filled with self-love, resilience, and unwavering belief. If you're ready to take charge of your narrative, build unwavering confidence, and empower yourself to persevere on the path to your dreams, you can grab your free guide to stop overthinking and learn to trust yourself at JamieKernLima.com/resources, or click the link in the show notes below. And now more of this incredible conversation together.
Most of my prompts are between 3 and 7 minutes long in audio.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I thought that might catch you. I don't think people are there yet. I think like mine are very long. Like, hey, Pop Mart did this with Labubu. This is how it would work.
Yep.
Audio, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, chat. I always say hey, chat, by the way. Hey, chat. So look, Labubu clearly worked. Pop Mart is a retailer that's using blind bags because that's similar to opening up a pack of trading cards. Obviously, I know about the KOL, the K-pop star that posted it and started the spark. Can you give me the 20 other reasons why Labubu happened? What were the cultural moments? What happened significantly? What are the B2B things I may not know about? And then it'll go, Labubus have been around since 2015. This, and then off of that, I'll be like, okay, chat, in that point you made about Japan and that talk show, can you give me more about that? I really don't know about that. Is that talk show historically been important? Like, you see where I'm going? I'm talking, like having a full-fledged conversation. I'm a cultural anthropologist. That's who I think I am. I strive to understand all people, all 8 billion of them. What are 25-year-olds in Bali thinking right now? What are 47-year-old females in San Antonio that immigrated from Mexico listening to, eating, buying? Why are people playing pickleball at scale? Who is going to be the next trap star in music? Why have people started to eat this or that, Korean barbecue that, or fashion this? Why is 90s fashion working? Why did 16-year-old girls start watching Friends on Netflix during COVID? Who could possibly be the next country star? Where do I see the next Nashville, Austin, Miami popping up? Why would that happen? This is like real shit for me.
And your strategist in all this is AI, all of it.
My co-strategist.
Co-strategist, yeah.
My researcher. Back in the day with people like me, you'd have whiz kids be your researchers, and you'd come together. Now that is that.
So you replace it as your co-strategist.
Yes.
What exact platforms are you using?
I added it as my co-strategist. I didn't even have a co-strategist before. So it's not like I replaced two whiz kids with this.
Yes.
This is an addition, not a replacement of. ChatGPT is heavy for me. Grok, because it's right integrated into the Twitter platform, and I'm there quite a bit. Meta more and more, because social platforms have a big advantage. Their search engines are becoming these AI bots, and I'm spending so much time in social. So there's no friction to open up ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity, Midjourney with creative. Those are the ones that stand out right now. But here's a funny one. Every single 30 days, I type in this prompt. Audio, again, I like audio. Actually, this one I type sometimes because it's quick. Which AI apps have come out in the last 30 days that have become better versions of what the leader was in whatever category of AI app it is? Please list them and why. So I'm using AI to stay on top of AI.
It's wild. I have so many friends, not even in any type of a digital space or any type of
just living.
That are using it for their therapist.
Yep.
That are using it for their lawyer.
Yep.
That are marking up contracts with it.
Yep.
That are, so fast.
Correct.
So fast. And
That's
I'm not
right.
talking about people that are typically early adopters. And so when I see that fast, I'm like, whoa.
I was at a conference 9 months ago, maybe a year ago, and I asked the audience, how many of you now use ChatGPT instead of Google for search? Predominant audience was 45 to 80 years old, skewed older. 80% of the room, I made them stand up instead of raise hands, one of my favorite moves, because I think it's visually more powerful.
Yeah.
The shock on the 20% that were still sitting of what was happening. And my surprise, I was thinking maybe 50-50 because I had known it had already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It's full tilt. This is what happened with search engines. I was there. I was a huge proponent of search engines in 1996, 97, because I was using it to build my dad's wine business, to drive traffic to my .com. Nobody had a .com yet. And people didn't get it. Like, I used to get made fun of by people, like literally made fun of by liquor salesmen who said, why do you need a search engine? We have the yellow pages. That was literally the response, James.
Yeah.
I've lived this movie before. What Google did to the yellow pages, AI is about to do to Google.
Do you have any worries? Google search. Do you have any worries about privacy?
Yes and no. Do you know that almost everyone's privacy has been completely compromised at scale? And that 99.9999% of people will never be affected by it? I'm more worried about getting in a car accident than having privacy be an issue in my life. Yep. I think this is the shark and hippo thing. Of course I'm worried about privacy. Now let's get out of delusion and ideology. Every person listening here, multiple companies and individuals have all their information, including social security number, home address, all of it. Now what? In fact, the level of privacy being exposed and compromised actually reminds me of why I'm so optimistic about the human race. Play with me here. You're going to be really happy I came today. Ready?
I already am.
You ready? You should never worry about privacy. It is insane how much privacy has been compromised already. The dark web has all the information. The world is good, James. James, the world's good. But most of the world is fixated on the 0.0000001% that's bad. The world is unbelievably good.
Do you think with AI, when you talk about, people are good,
Yes.
maybe governments will regulate it, maybe people will regulate it.
Yep.
What about when there's governments out there, though, that don't play by the rules or that don't keep their word?
We've learned to ask that question. You would have not asked that question 20 years ago because we were not in a geopolitical fight with Russia and China 20 years ago. You would have not asked me that question, which is the answer to your question. We are going to get smarter and decide what we decide. Jamie, do you know that there's going to be unlimited videos of you and me on the internet in 2 years saying things we never said because deep fake AI videos are going to make it seem like we said it, which is going to mean no one's going to believe videos anymore. Then the blockchain will become important, what Bitcoin and NFTs are on, because the blockchain is a decentralized server that nobody owns, and people like you and me will post our content first on the blockchain under our public verified account, thus allowing people, when they see a clip, to know if we actually said it. Cat and mouse, cops and robbers. The good guys do something, the bad guys do something. The good guys do something, the bad guys do something. But what do I think you and me and every other regular human's gonna do is we're gonna know. You would have not even asked me that question about bad governments because 25 years ago, we had this little window of global prosperity, of peace in the scheme of things, which was a lovely era, post-Berlin Wall, post-Cold War. Unfortunately, we didn't take that era, we took it for granted. Unfortunately. Do you know our parents thought they would never go to Poland or Yugoslavia or Czechoslovakia because there was an Iron Curtain? We couldn't. It was too dangerous for Americans to go. We couldn't even get in. And if we got in, it was dangerous. None of us thought that way because the world opened up, right? But you and I don't think about going to North Korea. We know we're not allowed, right? Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, as the world continues in its geopolitical fight, Americans might find themselves not going to many places that we grew accustomed to going to. And that's how the world works. That's the history of time. That's unfortunate, but it's a reality. But to answer your question, what will happen when governments do the wrong thing with AI? We will know about it. I don't know if you know this, governments have done the wrong thing with weapons. Like multiple countries have an atomic bomb that can wipe off the face of the earth. You don't stay up at night every night thinking about that, do you? We get accustomed, we adapt, we become educated, we adjust, we are capable, we are strong.
Do you know how many people are going to be tremendously grateful for your optimism?
My optimism is well justified.
Do you ever worry about or think it's possible AI will retaliate against you if you uninstall it?
Look, do I think that there's a world where the quote-unquote robots do to humans what that big, thing did to dinosaurs, the big boom, whatever? I think it's conceivable, which is obviously a very pessimistic view, right? I'm not anticipating that anytime soon. I'd prefer not, and I think we are unbelievably smart. Again, I always use the atomic bomb. I've already used it. I believe if you and I were sitting and doing this podcast in 1950, and America had already recently dropped an atomic bomb on Japan, and you and I both knew that Russia now has one, and we would sit and anticipate other countries would have them. And to remind you, America had just dropped it in Japan. That if you and I were sitting here in 1950 having this podcast, if I said to you, James, I predict over the next 75 years that not one atomic bomb will be dropped in the world, I think almost everyone listening to that podcast would laugh at me. That is my answer to almost everything. I cannot comprehend how passionate I've become to help people understand what I'm going to say again, nice and slow. 99.99999% of human interactions with fellow human beings is remarkable. Minimally neutral. And we have given 100% of our energy and fixation on the 0.0001% of horrible behavior.
I was thinking about what you said earlier about collectibles, and it's wild that there's now influencers that are AI and bands that are AI getting millions of streams on Spotify and they're not real, and people actually knowing in some cases that, oh, this person's not real and I'm going to follow this not real person.
That's right.
Just everything is changing so rapidly, and when you think about what may or may not happen with jobs and with everything else, and you think about in-person stuff and collectibles, I'm just thinking about how in some ways, a lot of people are maybe even aware of it or not, or fearful that they may lose parts of their perceived identity, whether it's like an online presence or their job or this or that. And I wonder if collectibles in some way is another beautiful way of expression of who you are.
100%.
Yeah.
And it's not, people are worried about where they get their validation from. Or the monies they use to pay for the overhead of their life. Most people are also not accustomed to thinking that they have to live more humbly.
Right.
We've completely lost that.
Yeah, for sure.
Like our parents and great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents' generation knew the concept of going up, then going down, because they had the Depression, they had world wars, they had bad economies where the government wouldn't just print money. I mean, we had COVID happen and the government's response was print unlimited amounts of money. That's how soft we've become. The reason people are completely petrified of AI is if they lose a job, they have no savings. Remember savings?
Yep.
Remember that concept? That's lost. People don't think about, they spend every dollar they have and then some with credit. Like we're this generation. So yeah, I continue to be optimistic because I think everyone's capable. I really do. I think we're much more capable of dealing with adversity than we think. Right now, we've been fortunate that we don't have to, and I think most people will. And unfortunately in life, everyone will deal with adversity. Everybody will lose a loved one, and you're petrified of it, and then it happens, and it's the worst, and then you get through it. I mean, you and I probably know people who've lost some significant amount of money, and we've talked to them on the other side of it, and they talk about how they like their life more now because it's lighter. Yeah, maybe they don't have a Lambo or 3 houses, and maybe they have a job now instead of their own company. I know these people. You probably know these people too.
Yeah.
Because they were reckless, they were whatever they were, and a lot of them are happier. And what the hell are we living life for? More stuff or happiness? So in fact, I think some people need to have some bad things happen to them because it's going to lead to a happier place. I think a lot of people actually are scared of adversity. This is why I hate 8th place trophies, James. Parents demonize losing to kids. They try to protect them from losing. I hope my son gets punched in the face today. He's 12. I hope he gets punched. I genuinely believe that will make him better. I like when he loses in basketball. He's very good. When his team loses, I like it. And so many parents don't like it, and then they create kids that are incapable of adversity. All these kids who got over-coddled and overprotected and lived in fake environments, And that's why we have so many 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 30-year-olds that parents pay for their life. You know this, James. There's 25-year-olds where the parents are paying for everything. They're 20-fucking-5.
And I'm so grateful that you came. I love your perspective on like, you don't get burnt out from content. You don't get burnt, like all of that, because, you know, everyone's different, but you know, for a lot of people, they can go do a Today Show segment, which is like 5 minutes, but having like a real deep conversation, it could take a lot out of you. And you're giving so much.
And I don't think I'm special because of it. I also, and I'm aware of that, I also don't have the capacity to not be authentic with your audience. And I hope people extracted that if you can get to the root of the foundation, you're capable of doing so much more. And again, I think my detachment from the success, I said it earlier, like I'm not in my prime of content creation right now, and I can deal with those numbers looking way less than they did a year ago because my validation doesn't come from it. It's not the mission. And I do believe that no one gets burnt out from doing the thing that is most.
We need to pause for a super brief break. And while we do, take a moment and share this episode with every single person that you know who this could inspire. Because this conversation can truly be the words and inspiration that they need to hear today to keep going, to remember that they matter, and to feel less alone and more enough, more connected, and more worthy. Who you spend time around is so important, as energy is contagious. And so is self-belief. And I'd love to hang out with you even more, especially if you could use an extra dose of inspiration, which is exactly why I've created my free weekly newsletter that's also a love letter to you, delivered straight to your inbox each and every Tuesday morning from me. If you haven't signed up to make sure that you get it each week, just go to JamieKernLima.com to make sure you're on the list, and you'll get your One-on-One with Jamie weekly newsletter and get ready to believe in you. If you're tired of hearing the bad news every single day and need some inspiration, some tips, tools, joy, and love hitting your inbox, I'm your girl. Subscribe at JamieKernLima.com or in the link in the show notes.
I am so excited for this book. You know why? Because it's going to save so many people. It's going to save people.
Worthy.
Your new beautiful book, Worthy.
Get this book.
This book, I'm telling you, it's a book that can change anybody's life who picks it up.
Anybody who's ever felt that they were not good enough, didn't measure up, something's missing in your life, I have to tell you.
It's powerful. It's happening. It's worthy.
Imagine, what would you do if you fully believed in you? I went from struggling waitress facing non-stop rejection to founder of IT Cosmetics, a billion-dollar company, by learning how to overcome self-doubt and believe I'm worthy of my hopes and dreams. And I'm sharing how you can too in my new book, Worthy, How to Believe You Are Enough and Transform Your Life. If you're ready to truly trust yourself and break through that barrier of self-doubt, and know that where you come from, or even where you are right now, doesn't determine where you're going, then Worthy is for you. It's time to go from doubting you're enough to knowing you're enough. It's time to step into all of who you are and into the person you were born to be. And it's time to believe that you are worthy of it. Because in life, we don't become what we want. We become what we believe we're worthy of. Join the Worthy movement today by grabbing your copy of Worthy anywhere books are sold. Then head to worthybook.com now for free gifts, including my 5-part course on becoming unstoppable and my 95-page Worthy Workbook action plan that teaches you how to implement the tools from the book into your real life right now.
Worthy is groundbreaking.
Yo, my God! Worthy, you are worthy.
This book is going to change lives.
This book literally will teach you how to actually feel worthy so that you can have the strength, you can have the confidence.
The lessons in this book and the strategies will change your life. You will never be the same again after you read this book.
Jamie's book, Worthy, is a must read. It is going to inspire you, empower you, give you the hope that you need and the kick in the rear end that you deserve.
Jamie's book Worthy is incredible.
The gifts are going away, but they're all free right now on worthybook.com. And now more of this incredible conversation together.
I do believe that no one gets burnt out from doing the thing that is most right and that they most enjoy. Like, you know, I always say this to people, like, do you get burnt out from golfing? Like, you know, if I'm talking to somebody, do you get burnt out from cooking, mothering? Like, there's a lot of, everybody listening right now, James, does not get burnt out from something. You got to find your thing, or you've got to make something you want to do grounded in the thing that makes you not be burnt out. Anything that requires outside validation is the gateway drug to burnout.
Yeah. And I think there's so many things you've shared today that are big unlocks for people, that they're not feeling light in their life, why they're not, there's all of it. Why are you able to do so many things and feel light? That stuff's fascinating.
Yeah, and it's blind spots for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched many things be blind spots to my father through the years, that this convo that I'm having with your audience, I've had with him 400,000 times, different things, including trusting people. And then it's so crazy. You have the same talk for 17 straight years, and for whatever reason, the 697th time you talk about it, I will forever be optimistic because of what I just said. Because I've seen many times in my life, because I am unwavering to have these convos with the people around me long before this kind of world existed, the internet, podcasts, mindfulness, thoughtfulness, therapy, because this is who I've been my whole life, because I've watched with my own two eyes people ingrained in the opposite of this. I just chip away, and for some reason, the 918th time, with a different analogy, in a different setting, because of the other 917 times that I chipped, it finally falls. I'm sure this is why therapists do what they do. I cannot imagine a more gratifying feeling than to breaking through to someone you love, to have them change their behavior on the thing that's making them most unhappy.
Okay, for the person listening who is feeling like a rookie and overwhelmed with everything happening with AI, what would you say is like the blueprint for the fastest way for a beginner to get great at AI?
To download ChatGPT.
Yep.
And to actually ask ChatGPT all their most basic questions about AI. It's the first platform ever that the platform itself teaches you about the platform. Imagine with social media that you had Gary Vaynerchuk sitting next to you and answering every question for you 24/7. That's what AI is. AI is going to be the thing that teaches you AI.
Will any of the platforms not tell you the truth about other platforms?
I don't know. And we'll learn that. I think it's a little early. I'm not educated enough to answer that question in this nanosecond. My intuition is whichever platform makes sure it doesn't do that is going to win.
It's going to win.
Got it?
What do you think the future of podcasts are?
I think much of the same, other than, to your point, like you and I will start shows with co-hosts that don't exist that are our intellectual property. Like you'll start your version of The View and there'll be 3 other ladies and they're not real and you own their intellectual property and one of them may become more famous than you and that person becomes your Mickey Mouse. Like you, the entrepreneur, will own Sarah Johnson, your co-host. She gets bigger than even you, and you're doing brand deals and book deals. How wild is that? I believe every human is now entering the intellectual property business. Just like I predicted in 2006-07 that everybody would have a social media account and I got laughed out of the room, I believe every human is now in the intellectual property business.
What do you think the future of Instagram, Facebook, platforms that are the most common right now?
I think they'll have every 5 years a new competitor, kind of like we've seen. I think a decentralized social network is coming, meaning a platform, much like Bitcoin, nobody like kind of owns it. I think there'll be an Instagram, Facebook, TikTok that is a social network that's on the blockchain. No company owns it. It's just in the ether. And I think people like that because you can't get banned. It'll be very merit, but it will expose all humans, right? People are like, yeah, that sounds awesome, but no, all the hate speech, all that, because nobody can control it, right? But I do think that's going to happen. I think IRL is real, live streaming. I think the Twitch Kicks, of the world are really going into a big era. I think in a 5-year window, this exact podcast, we'd be streaming live. They would see it all. We would know that, so like little things would be slightly different because of that. That's what I think.
What about when you think of, there's so many people that got so excited about NFTs.
Yes.
So excited about crypto.
Yes.
Maybe got burned with both.
Yes.
What's your take on both right now, and what do you say to people about them?
In 2000 or 2001, I think, April 2001. In 2000 or 2001, I think, I don't know why I'm blanking right now. Amazon stock went from $100-something a share to $6 in one day. The front page of every business newspaper in the country and the world, headline, the internet was a fad. The stock market crashed because short-term greed created way too high of a value and people lost the plot. But the internet wasn't a fad. And Amazon and eBay and PayPal that were there became incredible companies. The people that got burned on NFTs, when I was making all those videos saying 99% of these NFTs are going to go to zero, they didn't hear me because they were too infatuated with the short-term greed. $124 million worth of NFTs were sold last week. If you ask all the people that are in business and culture how many NFTs were sold last week, some would say none, let alone $124 million. Digital collectibles is real. The problem was everybody thought every NFT was going to be worth something. That would be like saying every piece of art, every watch, every sneaker, every trading card, every comic book is worth something. Only the 1% are going to be worth something. Crypto, Bitcoin, nobody got burned by. That was the right cryptocurrency. All the crazy meme coins and silly cryptocurrencies that came up, they didn't have a real usage. They didn't have enough demand, sustained demand. So much like, by the way, do you know how many people have lost money in real estate? Do you know how many people have failed becoming a content creator and podcast? Do you know how many people have lost money in the stock market? This was about short-term new, notice how I brought up the stock market in 2000 with internet companies. When there's something new, James, there's the people early in it like myself, but we talk about long-term ups and downs. Then there's the people who are just in it to make a quick buck. Cannabis industry, right? It's all the same stuff, James. There's so many people thinking there's a quick buck. They all think it's a sprint, when in reality it's always a marathon. So what do I tell them? Tell them that the blockchain is one of the most important technologies in the world. And in fact, in this AI era, where there's gonna be a lot of fake, the blockchain is the only thing that can prove true. I think Bitcoin is a profound technology that is the first thing that has a potential to be gold. Do you know that gold existed before we decided it was worth something? Got it? And I think in NFT lands, that, for example, with VeeFriends, I believe if God willing, I will stay healthy, that over the next 50 years of my hard work, I will make my characters as important as Spider-Man and Superman and Mickey Mouse and Pikachu and Harry Potter. And if I do that, then VeeFriends Series 1 NFTs will be highly collectible and worth lots of money, just like all the comic books and trading cards and toys and books of those other IPs. And I think many other people will do that because there won't be just one Disney or one Sesame Street or one Transformers or one Care Bears. Pop culture collectibles dominate eBay, trillions of dollars. There's somebody right now buying a Rainbow Bright from 1984 for $100 because it's in good condition.
Yeah.
And so if I'm good enough of an entrepreneur to do that, and then there'll be artists like Andy Warhol and Jackson Pollock. There's NFT artists. But again, that's collectibles. That's a 1% of 1%. You have to know what to collect and invest in. That's like art and collectibles. That's a different game. But do I think that people will be collecting NFTs and the NFTs will go up? Of course, it's happening right now. It was just that everybody got caught up in the fad of it all. NFTs are not Beanie Babies. NFTs are stuffed animals. Got it? That's the important part, right? The projects are either Beanie Babies or Labubu or Cabbage Patch Kids or Rainbow Bright or Transformers or Power Rangers. Disney stuffed animals have continued to grow because Disney has been relevant for 50 years. One of my favorite cartoons as a kid, the Get Along Gang, they're not as collectible because they only were important for 2 years. So the collectible NFTs I make comic books and cartoons with the hope that for 50 years I make movies and video games and cartoons and comics and trading cards. And that's how those things will have value, just like every collectible in the world. That's what I tell people.
I worked in Seattle in the .com boom and saw exactly what you're talking about, and saw so many friends, and everyone was there for no money with options.
That's right.
And it's every industry.
That's right.
And similarly, a week or two ago, I spent like $100 on a strawberry shortcake doll for Sarah on my team who's pregnant. And
amazing.
I was like, I want this for her baby.
That's amazing.
And I would just scour like all the, I for sure got it. Okay, so you are so bullish on online live shopping. I want to call this out. So I'm going to break this down. You know, I did over 1,000 live shows on QVC. So I sold out over $1 billion of product straight to a camera.
Yes.
And it was wild to watch this because, you know, we got, this wasn't even by choice. We were rejected in building my business by so many people. It was, I believe, God opening this door that was like, this is the door for you. Went into QVC and they're live to 100 million homes. And every time I would go on QVC, there's so much pressure. And we knew by the second if we were hitting numbers. And if we weren't, I would lose a product.
That's right.
Right? And we had $10 million goal days and I had to hit, it was just the pressure that it's a whole other universe that I think as a consumer, when we watch, we're like, oh, everyone's having fun. This is great. Oh, I want that flameless candle. I want that shirt. You know, it's a fun experience. Behind the scenes, of course, lots of pressure.
That's right.
But every time we would go on, it was the biggest blessing because all tides would rise. All of a sudden, search would go way up. All of a sudden, our products in Sephora or Ulta would spike every time I would go on air. So it was this beautiful sort of like stars aligning thing. Now that the whole world is changing, like some of us have seen the videos online where there might be, I think it's in China,
the woman with the purses.
Yeah, just like just showing things really fast, and it seems like 5,000 cell phones all live, and
because
people
don't
are
forget,
buying.
There's unlimited inventory. QVC would kick you out because they only had one channel.
Yep.
And if you weren't making the numbers, they would bring in someone who could.
Yeah, I had to hit the same numbers as Apple iPhone or anything else, or I'm gone.
Correct.
Yeah.
Social live commerce, everyone, like the platforms have unlimited inventory.
Yeah.
So nobody gets kicked off. People have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's been huge for VeeFriends, stuffed animals, hoodies, mainly trading cards and comic books and pins and toys. I think it's the single biggest opportunity for everyone who's listening right now. There's a lot of people who want to be a content creator and make their money from pennies on the dollar on ad revenue on the platform, brand deals, and then hopefully a book deal, speaking, whatever, right? That are not destined to be good at that, but ironically have a different skill, slightly different, which is they would be great at selling in a live platform and would end up making even more money and having more fun if they went all in on TikTok Shop and whatnot. And I could not push everyone here more that if they sell something physical, to immediately learn about TikTok Shop and Whatnot, which is a standalone app that's kind of the leading independent live shopping app in the US and Europe. This has been a phenomenon in Asia for a long time. Basically, every report I read, 30 to 40% of all e-commerce in China is now live shopping. This is going to eat up our news feeds on Facebook and Twitter. Every time in your news feed right now you see a picture of a blouse or shoes or a pocketbook, I think that is going to be replaced over the next 5 years with somebody who is live because it's a better execution for those brands. And for all the people, like even garage sales, like literally if someone's listening right now and they're like, well, I don't have anything to sell. How about the thousands of dollars of crap that is in your closets, basements, and attic that you literally can go live and sell that way? eBay is going to have a live business. Meta, both on Facebook and Instagram, will have a live business. Google on both YouTube and YouTube Shorts will have a live business. Everybody is going to do live shopping. Right now, TikTok is way ahead because they come from China where that's already a big deal. And you have this standalone app called Whatnot that is really doing well, but I expect every platform, Twitter, all of them, to be in the live shopping business. And the QVCification, as I call it, of social media is now here.
When you're someone at home right now, you're like, oh, well, I'm selling all this online on my website and this and that, but I want to do live shopping, or it's new for somebody. Are people also going to have to then become not just great at selling live, but then handling the fulfillment of it all, the back end, the operations?
Yes.
So
and then you know what's going to happen. Yes.
Yeah.
And then you know what's going to happen. Some smart entrepreneurs are going to stand up and say, I'll do it for you.
Yep.
And I'll keep 50% of the action. Just like when eBay exploded, all the people in the neighborhood were like, hey, you give me your stuff and we'll go 50-50. So yes, you're required to do that. Will every human want to do that? No. Some will want to give up a lot of money to have someone else do it.
Yes.
And some will want to do it.
And then how do you find, how do you, it's going to be the same game where if there's 50 billion people selling stuff live, how do people find your channel?
By being good.
By being good.
The game is merit.
Yeah.
By being good. And what is good? Some are funny. Some are attractive. Some are knowledgeable. Some just outwork everyone. Some find a product for 6 months that nobody else saw. There's a million different things, right?
Yeah.
Like the same way that I had to answer how you break out in social 10 years ago. The answer was be good. How do you be good? Some were funny. Some were knowledgeable. Some were pretty. Some were funny. Some were, that's the game.
Yeah.
You have to bring value, and value comes in many shapes and sizes.
With AI, with technology, just all of it. Talking about me hosting The View with, 4 other IP, not real.
Yep.
With all of that changing, with jobs changing, with people going online to date and wondering if is that person real?
Yeah.
Just all of it, right? We used to have Catfish where it was on MTV, but now it's literally so many people aren't even real online. How does someone in this just changing times, how do they find their purpose?
Nothing changes. Technology has no impact on your purpose. Purpose is real shit. It has nothing to do with this. Your purpose has nothing to do with technology. Purpose is about having a real conversation with yourself. Purpose is about finally deciding you're not going to lie to yourself. Purpose is based on loving yourself for all your strengths and your weaknesses. Purpose is slowing down and really listening to yourself and just asking yourself calmly and honestly, when do you most smile? When is it most good? What makes you most light? Purpose has nothing to do with technology. There was people that knew their purpose and could not find their purpose before the printing press was invented, and the radio, and the television, and the internet, and the social networks, and the AI. Purpose has never been clouded by technology or affected by it. Purpose is an insular game that requires the most honest conversation you'll ever have with yourself, because you must tune out every single other voice, even the ones you most love. My mom is my hero. To wrap this up, since we started there, I was strong enough to follow my purpose, not what my mom wanted for me. My mom wanted me happy, but my mom preferred that I was good at school. And I was able as a child to let down disproportionately the most important person in my life every 3 months when I showed her my report card. And in fact, I let her down even more. I used to literally steal my report card from the mailbox and flush it down the toilet. This is true.
Yeah.
I believe that my mother did not see 80% of my actual report cards, because 80% of them I literally stole from the mailbox and flushed down the toilet to buy myself another week or two of non-punishment, but eventually she would know around what time it was. Plus then my sister came along and she we went to a school where you had to sign the report card, and my sister couldn't deal with it on her consciousness, so my gig was up. But I was able to let down the person I loved the most. And think about the way I talk about her at 49. Think about what I thought about her at 9. Mm-hmm. She was my whole world. And I was still strong enough to find my purpose of entrepreneurship and business over school hours. That's what I'm asking of everybody right now on the thing. Your purpose can only be found when you have the courage to let down the people you love the most, because you're choosing your purpose, not the opinions of your loved ones.
And I love what you said too. What makes you feel the most light?
Yeah, it's real. It's like, it's why I like sports. It's why I like garage sailing. It's why I love eBay. It's why I love doing this podcast. It's why I love running companies. I don't do things that make me feel heavy. I don't want to hang a picture on the wall. I don't want to mow the lawn. Meanwhile, there's people literally who can't wait this Saturday, get a nice beer, put on some music, and mow the lawn. I love that. I love that we all have different heavy and light. But I choose light every day. And sometimes life is life. Sometimes you have to do heavy. Let me give you a heavy. Let me give you my heaviest. Firing someone. Oh my God, do you want to talk about heavy? I don't sleep the night before. I sleep like a baby. The only time I do not sleep like a baby is when I know I have to fire someone. The worst. Hate it the most. But I signed up to run a business. And it fucking kills me, James. Kills me. Because you know things about these people if you're a kind of boss like me. You know that she's the breadwinner in the house.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
You know that I've held on to employees for 2 years while I know that their father was dealing with cancer. But do you know what happened while that happened? People quit around the company because they're like, this person who stinks is not getting, accountable, and I don't want to work here anymore. So I've literally hurt my own business for someone who's wildly underperforming because when we went to go fired, we discovered that there was someone sick in their family and I didn't have it in my stomach to do it. And is that right? Because I really hurt some people around that person that are great. And I hurt my business, which I'm responsible. This is why business is tough. You can't fake it. When you overcoddle your children, you just raise loser kids. When you overcoddle your employees, your company goes out of business. And then everyone's fired. Business is hard.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's so fun.
Remember, this episode's not just for you and me. Please share it with every single person that you know because it can truly impact and change their life too. And if you love today's episode, please click on the follow or subscribe button for the show on the app you're listening to it on or watching it on. And if it added value to your life, if you could please give it a rating or review, 5 stars, it would be amazing. I would be so grateful. And then share it. Share the episode with everyone you believe in. Maybe share it with another person whose life you know could benefit from it. Share it with someone you know who's maybe making a change in their career or fearful of what's happening with AI and all the technology around us and what exactly they should do. Share it with others online or in your community who just might need the words and tools and lessons in this episode today. You never know whose life you're meant to change today by sharing this episode. And thank you so much for joining me today. Before you go, I want to share some words with you that couldn't be more true. You, right now, exactly as you are enough and fully worthy. You're worthy of your greatest hopes, of your wildest dreams, and of all the unconditional love in the world. And it's an honor to welcome you to each and every episode of the Jamie Kern Lima Show here. I hope you'll come as you are and heal where you need, blossom what you choose, journey toward your calling, and stay as long as you'd like because you belong here. You are worthy, you are loved, you are love, and I love you. And I cannot wait to join you on the next episode of the Jamie Kern Lima Show. In life, you don't soar to the level of your hopes and dreams. You stay stuck at the level of your self-worth. When you build your self-worth, you change your entire life. And that's exactly why I wrote my new book, Worthy: How to Believe You Are Enough and Transform Your Life for You. If you have some self-doubt to destroy and a destiny to fulfill, Worthy is for you. In Worthy, you'll learn proven tools and simple steps that bring life-changing results, like how to get unstuck from the things holding you back, build unshakable self-love, unlearn the lies that lead to self-doubt, and embrace the truths that wake up worthiness, overcome limiting beliefs and imposter syndrome, achieve your hopes and dreams by believing you are worthy of them, and so much more. Are you ready to unleash your greatness and step into the person you were born to be? Imagine a life with zero self-doubt and unshakable self-worth. Get your copy of Worthy, plus some amazing thank you bonus gifts for you at worthybook.com or the link in the show notes below. Imagine what you'd do if you fully believed in you. It's time to find out with Worthy. Who you spend time around is so important, as energy is contagious, and so is self-belief. And I'd love to hang out with you even more, especially if you could use an extra dose of inspiration, which is exactly why I've created my free weekly newsletter that's also a love letter to you, delivered straight to your inbox from me. If you haven't signed up to make sure that you get it each week, just go to JamieKernLima.com to make sure you're on the list, and you'll get your One-on-One with Jamie weekly newsletter and get ready to believe in you. If you're tired of hearing the bad news every single day and need some inspiration, some tips, tools, joy, and love hitting your inbox, I'm your girl. Subscribe at JamieKernLima.com or in the link in the show notes. And please note, I'm not a licensed therapist, and this podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professional. If you love this incredible episode with GaryVee, I promise you, you're also going to love this life-changing episode of the Jamie Kern Lima Show right here. It's up next just for you.